Hi and welcome to crazy little thing called Lovdev. This week I'll be letting you know how my half-soaked show went. If you've been following along, you'll know I've been building up to it, so I'll let you know exactly what happened on that day. We've also got a question asking what your personal warning label would be. There's a paranormal story involving a man who apparently disappeared right in somebody's eyes in broad daylight. And the British problem involves company that simply won't stop emailing you about Father's Day. And what the F, we got a discovery of two men somehow managed to turn Earth into a proper sandwich. In the weird news, I come across a story that generally made me stop and reread the headline because I couldn't quite believe it. Let's get straight into it. It's episode 226, The Earth Sandwich. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Yeah, let's get it started. Let's get it started. Why are you singing Let's Get It Started? I was on my computer. Bit of an absolute nightmare. And YouTube come on for some reason. There was an advert. I don't even know what the advert was, but the music was Let's get it started. Yeah, let's get it started. Yeah. And that was that. Everything is starting. My washing machine is on its final spin, and it's spinning like a weasel in a weasel, more like a gerbil. The gerbil in a friggin' what you call those things, a wheel that spins round and round. You know what I'm on about. I've lost the plot, people. Been having problems, not like personal problems, technical problems, issues. Now you know I work for the NHS. I've been trying to get onto my NHS email because I like to see what's happening. Sometimes they send me an email to say, you need to do a shift, otherwise we're going to kick you off, mate. Now, I can't get on it because something to do with my authenticator app. It's not letting me put the number in. And then I ring up IT and they're absolutely useless. They're like, oh, you're going to have to go down to a trust site and use one of the computers. There's no trust site around me that I can use a PC on. So now I'm going to have to travel all the way into Birmingham city centre just to go and use a computer, and I can't be bothered. I'm absolutely annoyed. I'm not going to lie. NHS, you've let me down. Absolute mess, mate. I don't know what to do. What a palaver. Forget all that. Let's talk about something positive. My show, Half Soaked. Yes, it was fantastic. It was great. Really good. Had about 20, was it 21 or 2, something like that. Can't remember now. There's about 20 odd people in there. They all came. 4 of them paid to see me for a ticket. Another 2 actually booked it because I made the event free. Because I had to fill the room out. And then the rest of them were walk-ins, so there were people there that actually came to see the show. And that was lovely. So it was great, man. It was probably my best run of the show since I've done it, as in it was more of a flow. I was confident with it. I was happy. I liked the way it worked. I did get rid of some of the stuff, and then I kind of like rejigged it a little bit so it flows better. It's more of a theme and it flows and it ends nicely with some new added bits which kind of work. I just need to make sure they 100% work, but they were getting laughs. So yeah, it was a great show. It's a shame you lot weren't there. Wherever you are in the world, it's a shame. Maybe you was. Maybe you do listen to this podcast and you think, I like this guy. I'm going to go down and watch his show. You were there, but you didn't tell me that you listened to my podcast. Ha 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 ha. You never know, innit? You never know. But yeah, so I'd love to run it out again, which I am going to do in October at the Birmingham Comedy Festival. I can't say too much at the moment, but the show is going to happen in Birmingham. Just keep some dates free in October, especially the first weekend of October. There's a hint. So keep that free in your diary, unless you're going out on a Saturday night that's a lot more info than I should have given you, which is also a hint. The first week of October, which happens to be on a Saturday night, but it's not in the night, it's in the daytime. I don't care if the news gets out. Saturday, the 3rd of October, put it in your diaries, man. You haven't heard that from me. I want this room to be full. I want, like, loads of people there. You know what I mean? I want everyone just to... The whole of Birmingham should just cram into my show. That'll be fantastic. It happened last year, I'm not going to lie. Last year was great. I had a standing room. So let's do it again. Let's just do it. But the Ritmel Festival was great. It was good. I don't know, I might do another venue next year. I am thinking of doing a new show. Obviously, you lot know that I've been writing. I've got loads of stuff, so I don't know what to call my new show. I was thinking of the title, The Wonderful Weird World of Lovdev Barbega. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Because it's a bit of a mix match show, it's like weird stuff. You know, like a bit like this podcast, basically. Paranormal. There's stuff about Bigfoot, aliens, like superstitions. I've got stuff about Noah's Ark, baby Jesus. So it's proper random stuff. Which is why I'm thinking of calling the show The Wonderful Weird World of Lovdev Barbega, which is a long title, isn't it? But if you guys can think of a title that ties in really nice with me, as in my personality, then let me know, and we'll maybe I can call that show. I wanted to keep it short, do you know what I mean? But how do I keep something short without explaining, like... I want people to know what the show's about, innit? I bet half of the people think, what the hell's half-soaked? What does it even mean? It's obviously a slang term we use in the Midlands, so people do know what half-soaked is. I've explained it before. I'm not going to explain it again. You lot know. It's me, innit? I am half-soaked. I'm trying to think of the gigs that I've done recently, but I haven't done any, apart from my own show, so there isn't much to tell you lot. I'm trying to think, what is it that I've done this week? I haven't done a lot, in all honesty. I went to the skip, tip, whatever you guys want to call it. Dumped some stuff down there. I've had a haircut. I don't even know why I have a haircut. Because, like, all my hair's falling out. One of my mates at work, who's a Nigerian, he already said to me, he said, "Hey, brother, it looks like you have a plot of land on the back of your head." He said, "I've got a plot of land on the back of my head." Cheeky bugger. So, yeah, I've done that. What else have I done? That's about it. I've got a gig on the weekend, though. I've got one on Saturday. I'm doing an actual double. Believe it or not, I'm doing a double, man. Mental. I'll be doing a gig at the Comedy Cabaret in Leeds. I haven't done the Leeds one yet. I used to do Comedy Cabaret a lot when they were down in Bristol. I've only done the Bristol one, and yeah, they've moved venues quite a few times, but unfortunately, the venue they moved from, it's never been as good, to be honest. It's I think it was in a cave or something, and it was, yeah, I've only done it once, and it wasn't the ideal room. It was a bit weird. I couldn't really feel... There was no atmosphere in the cave. I don't know, man. God knows. And then after tomorrow, anyway, up in Leeds, which I'm looking forward to, I've had a look at the venue, and it looks great, and I've seen pictures of the comedy room, and it's perfect, so that should be good. And then after that one, I'm going up to Huddersfield. I'm doing a gig for Howard Walker. Now, I was meant to be opening Howard's gig, but then this gig came in Leeds because I told the promoter that I'm in Yorkshire anyway. So if I can open this gig and then I can go and do the other one, that'll be perfect. Because the other gig's like a half an hour drive from Leeds, so it isn't too far. So luckily Howard agreed, and he's put me in the middle now. So I should get there in time. But I'm also at Rough Works at the Glee Club. I don't know why I'm telling you like this, because you're not even going to be there. I should have mentioned it ages ago. I'll be at the Rough Works Glee Club, and I'll tell you guys all about that next week. Let's do something different. You know, I was reading this thing, actually, on... it's like, because I use a thing called Buzzsprout to record all my my comedy, my podcast. That's what I put it out on. Buzzsprout, it's called. Buzzsprout just like sends it out into the universe, and that's where Spotify and Apple and all your music pod players pick it up. On there was a thing on the forum, on the Facebook forum, and it said, how long should you keep a podcast going? And I thought, you keep it going as long as you want, innit? But some people change, so I mean, what? This podcast's been going for ages now. Good couple of years now, this one has. It's changed a little bit, but it's more or less the same theme, isn't it? Now, there's a thing that somebody who's saying, oh, maybe you should start a new podcast. Not me, personally, but just as in general. Well, what can I actually do? There's another question for you. Like, none of you respond. I don't know why. No one ever sends me a message. I do get messages on YouTube, but I barely go on YouTube. There's one person who always replies to all of my episodes. If I was to do a new podcast, if I ditched this one, crazy little thing called Lovdev, what could I possibly do? That's the problem. I don't know. So I thought I went on to Reddit. You lot know I use Reddit a lot for all of my topics. There's one thing called questions, so I'm guessing it's a bit like Ask the UK kind of thing, but it's not UK, innit? So on here, on questions, which is a new subject that we're doing. I might as well do a jingle for it. I haven't even got one. How about this? It's a question. That'll do. A drum roll for a question. Someone named Pathfinder. Pathfinder is in Apex, innit? Apex Legends, because I know that, because I play Apex. I'm a big fan of Apex, mate, if you want to add me. That's how I know there's a character called Pathfinder. So he's asking the question, what's your warning label? If you had a warning label, what would it say? It's a very good question, isn't it? If I came with a warning label, it will probably say, can be selfish sometimes. Oh, God, I'm trying to think. It's put me on the spot. What would warning label, losing hair from the rear end. Do not say, looks like a plot of land. What else could I have? I'm trying to think. It's hard to think of a warning label for yourself, innit? How about this way up or something like that? Oh, I've got a joke, actually. I'll tell you this, Pathfinder. Everyone else has heard it about 1 million times. Now, because I'm Indian, we believe in reincarnation, right? So I thought, I don't want to be reincarnated. I'm going to get a tattoo done of a recycle sign, and I'll have a line through it, and underneath it will say, currently not recyclable. Because I don't want to be reincarnated. That's probably what my warning label would be, and it would be a picture of non-recyclable. That is basically what I could say. If you had a warning label, people out there, what would yours be? Now, I would love to know. I'd love to read it out. I don't think anyone's going to respond back to it. So this could have been a useless, pointless question. Facebook has gone down. For some reason, I tried to log on to my Facebook. It's not going on there. Then my Messenger app on my phone is not working. I think the system's gone down. So I Googled, is Facebook down? And then I found a forum on Reddit saying it is down. Oh, God, what we're going to do now? No one can leave any weird comments in Facebook groups, can we? Talking about weird, let's do a paranormal. Oh, paranormal. From the Reddit Paranormal Forum, I can't even say it fully with the creepy music behind me. Own Personality has put something up on the Paranormal Forum. A person disappeared right in front of me. Has anyone else had that happen to them? Not me personally, but I've seen people in front of me. I haven't seen them disappear. Unless it was a magic trick. own personality is saying I posted about this on Reddit about 4 or 5 years ago when it first happened on another account. I also posted on a medical subreddit about it. People gave me the standard answer of carbon monoxide poisoning, early onset schizophrenia, brief seizure, etc., etc. Years later, I am reasonably confident it was none of those. At the time, I was in my late teens and had not done any drugs, never drank, no health issues, had a pretty normal life. Sounds pretty good to me so far, own personality. On a relatively busy suburban road, I saw a man who was walking directly towards me and then disappeared into thin air. I had moved onto the grass to the right of the sidewalk so he could pass, although he was a good 2 or 3 meters away. When I looked up a second later, he was no longer there. I just want to play the music just to make it a bit more dramatic. The only place he could have gone is the forest to my left, but there's a steep incline and the foliage is sparse enough that I definitely would have seen and heard him. To my right was the road, which is pretty wide and has cars going both ways. He wouldn't have had time to jaywalk without me seeing him. Either I looked around everywhere. He said he looked around everywhere and he still didn't see him. It was broad daylight, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It wasn't dark or foggy at all. I had walked that road many times and I still do. Never experienced anything like this before or since. The fact that it was the middle of the afternoon and there were other people going about their business in the houses directly across the street, and yet I'd been the only one to experience this. It really messed me up. At the time I was afraid of both the paranormal aspect and the possibility that something might be neurologically wrong with me. I understand that, mate. But as I said, years later, I'm pretty confident that I didn't have any sort of medical trouble going on. Maybe it was very convincing, a one-off hallucination. I don't think it was a one-off hallucination. I generally think you did see something. Could it have been... What's that term when people say there's a glitch in the Matrix? Could it have been like a traveller from another part of the future or past and you just happened to see him? Well, there's a thing as well, isn't there? I've covered it before about... it's where people go back in time and for a split second they see everything around them and it's how it might have been in the 1940s or the 30s or the 1800s, and it will play for like a minute and then it will go back to reality. Kind of like a glitch. Maybe that was it, or maybe it was someone who was a ghost and happened to walk past you. Maybe they took that walk every day, same time. That's the walk they do. I don't know. It's very interesting. He's saying if anyone else has experienced the same or similar, please share. I haven't experienced anything like that. But it was nice to read your story. Although you've talked about it 4 or 5 years ago, obviously people are going to have their own answers to it. Only you know the truth. Because you've repeated the same question, obviously means you still think about it now and again, as I do. When I'm driving, sometimes I remember when I saw those orbs hitting on my windscreen on the M40, which is a highway in the UK. I still remember that exact kind of spot, so whenever I drive back home, I know roughly whereabouts it happened. Then there was a time where I saw the man walking along a country road, no other cars or houses about, so that was strange as well. Yeah, so what could it be? I would love to read what other people have said. I'm going to read one. Let's read one. It's the top one at the top. Someone named Repulsive. He said, yeah, the same thing happened to me. I was driving home on a winding mountain and there was a Mexican Native American looking woman in a white t-shirt and jeans, walking on the edge of the road. Oh, that's literally what happened to me, but it was a man. This wasn't a pedestrian road by any means, but it's common enough that I didn't think much of it. Besides, better not hit her with my car. I didn't look around directly at her because I was focused on the road, and I drove over the line to avoid her. I could see far enough ahead to know it was safe. Once I passed her safely, I slowed down to nearly a stop to see if she was okay, and maybe offer a ride if it seemed like she was in trouble. But when I looked in my rearview mirror, she was gone. You see, when I looked in my rearview mirror, I couldn't tell if he was there or not because it was pitch black. And it was a country lane and there's no street lights on these roads. So I didn't really get to see. But I do remember the moon being out a little bit. Maybe it was just someone who was drunk who was walking back home after a night out. I don't know. So yes, people have experienced similar things to what you have, own personality. And I hope one day you do find a solution. I would suggest, now this is going to sound really strange, the actual road that you was walking on and you experienced that exact thing. Have you thought about looking back in history and seeing if any incidents occurred around then? Was there a tragic accident? Was there a civil war on that land? Anything like that you can pull up. Maybe that will have a few more answers to your question. Who knows? It could be somebody who, I don't know, got murdered. I don't want to say that, but you know what I mean? Something happened to them, and there's a picture of them, and you might go, oh my God, that's the man I saw. Maybe. You never know. Maybe delve into it a little bit. That's my only advice I can give. I'm not an expert, but I suppose it's probably better than what you've ever had in the past. So thank you for that. Let's move on. How about we do a very interesting What The? Yes! What is today's What The Ba-Ba-Ba? In 2020, two men turned Earth into a sandwich by placing bread on the precise point of the planet. What? How do you make an Earth sandwich? Let's find out. A man in New Zealand and Spain calculated longitude and latitude to perfectly align both slices. An Auckland University student has created an Earth sandwich with a stranger in Spain after a long search for an accomplice. IT Nord, who's 19, happy birthday, placed a slice of white bread on the ground at Bucklands Beach in Auckland using the longitude and latitude to ensure he was precisely opposite a volunteer who he found in the south of Spain after posting for help on, believe it or not, Reddit. The two men, who were totally strangers, had 12,724 kilometres of Earth between them, creating an Earth sandwich. It's amazing that we've actually been able to collaborate and do something like this at the exact opposite points of the globe. We made sure to get the exact location with the Google map to get us within a few meters range, and then we used the actual image data on Google to pinpoint ourselves even closer than that. Nord said making an Earth sandwich was a long-term goal of his, but he struggled to find someone on the other side of the world who was willing to lend a hand and have the other slice of bread. It was quite hard to organise since 12-hour time difference, and there's a lot of things to arrange, such as the kind of bread, the time and the location. Nord's first tried to find a willing participant in southern Spain using a friend and family contacts. But when that failed, he used somebody on Reddit instead, a university computer science student. Of course, who else would do it? Nord only had to walk a couple of 100 meters to make his Earth sandwich, while his Spanish counterpart, he had to travel 11 kilometers. It's quite tough to find a spot which isn't water on the New Zealand end, and where public roads or paths intersect in both sides. I didn't think of that. that is today's what the... Someone in 2020 made an earth sandwich. He placed his bread on top of this soil. I think one of them looks like it's on a beach or something like that in New Zealand. And the other guy in Spain, I don't know why, but he's got 9 slices of bread, or he's cut them up in small pieces. This is the guy in Spain. I don't know why he's done that. Unless it's just some kind of weird glitch on the image. Earth sandwich, guys. Never heard of it. Earth sandwich. That was today's... What the... And yes, we are nearly at the end of the podcast, but it's time to do a British problem. And we've got loads of them. We are covered with British problems. Everything we have in Britain is just a disaster. Sometimes there's good, but most of the times the world has gone to a crazy place, unfortunately. But there's normal people out there, guys. Somebody like Mundo7, who has a very British problem. Please tell us if you'd rather not hear about Father's Day. Thank you. Someone has finally mentioned it. Who cares about Father's Day? We all know it's Mother's Day is the one. Mom is the one who brought all of us into the world. Dad kind of helped out a little bit. So Father's Day is meh. It's a meh, isn't it? Meh. For me, also, Father's Day, yeah, all right, kids, what have you got me? You got me a mug that says Dad on it. Thank you very much. Father's Day should be every day. Just like Mother's Day. Should be every day. What is Mundo saying? This is an email to ask if you'd really not like hearing about Father's Day this year. We know it's hard. Let us know if you don't want an email about Father's Day. Honestly, we don't mind. We'll stop emailing about Father's Day if you want. What if you haven't got a father? Or what if, like, you're an orphan or something and you're getting these emails? You'd be annoyed, wouldn't you? I think he's on about people that email you saying, it's Father's Day, would you like to treat your dad? Let us know if you don't want to know about Father's Day. And then they'll reply back with the same thing. We know you didn't want to know about it, but we thought we'd ask you again. That's literally what it is. Are you sure you don't want to hear about Father's Day? See, that's what Mundo said. Underneath, you put, Jesus, man, I feel this is more annoying than actually getting a Father's Day advertising email in the first place. Oh, mate, that's a British problem, innit? Unfortunately, Father's Day's probably been made commercial so people can sell gifts and, like, I don't know, mugs, socks. What else do you give your father on Father's Day? I don't know. It's all money, innit? Just like Easter and the rest of it. Easter eggs. The figuring gone small. I don't even want to talk about Easter. That's in the past. But you are right. Emails are annoying, unfortunately. That's what they do. They want to remind us all the time. Like we forget in Britain that this Father's Day. I remember the other day my missus said to me, oh, I didn't know it's Mother's Day. I said, but you know about... I said, that's gone. She went, no, it's Mother's Day in South Africa. But who cares? Why are you even telling me? Like, I need to know that. Oh, my God. It's something every day, isn't it? Unfortunately. Oh, God, I love it. Right, guys, it's time to do a weird news story. And I'll be honest, I don't know how to word it. It's a weird news story. You know me, I like to be clean. That type of... Yeah, you know what I'm on about. The weird news story today, you're going to have to make it up in your own head. I'll just give you an innuendo if you want. A man who donated his body after death had a rare triple sausage. Yeah, not one, not two, but he had 3. Who has 3? And how rare is that? I've never heard anyone have more than 1. Has anyone ever heard of a man having more than 1 sausage in his pants? Who has 3? Like, that isn't that amazing? How good it would... what would you have... Oh, my God, I don't even want to think about it. Apparently, the individual is a 78-year-old man in the UK. He donated his body after he died. While dissecting the cadaver, the medical students made a surprenderous discovery in his pelvis. Inside the skin of a scrotal sac and adjacent to primary external sausages were two smaller sausage structures. Only the primary sausage was extremely visible, but all the other three sausages, including the bulbous structure called a gland and a chamber of spongy tissue that will fill the blood to create I'm trying to think of another word for it. To create how can I say it? You know when the concrete stiffens up, that. It's known as a corpus cavernosus. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So what happened? The doctors measured the three sausages, finding that the external sausage measured about 3 inches long, and it was 0.9 inches wide. It's not even that big, is it? That's the first one. And then the second sausage was roughly about 2 inches and half an inch wide, while the third sausage was 1.45 inches, so roughly the same as sausage number 2. Upon closer examination, doctors saw that there was only one urethra, the tube that transports the urine from the bladder, which followed a meandering course through the secondary sausage and then into the primary sausage, terminating the external sausage orifice. There were no branches in the tunnel and no additional urethral tubes found in the third and the smallest sausage. So basically, the middle sausage, I think, was the main one. So on his right, he had a tiny baby sausage, like a mini party sausage. And then the one on the left must have been one that was like, you know when you buy something, like a pastry, and then it only looks good once it's puffed up. Maybe that's what happened to that sausage. So it's just the meat and the skin, and it wasn't cooked enough to expand. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But this thing continues. Can you believe it? During fetal development, a structure called the genital tubercle arises eventually and develops into an external genitalia, which forms a sausage. In the case resulting in the sausage wasn't growing. That's what I said. Basically, that's basically what happened. I'm not going to read anymore because it goes on forever. That's the weird news. A man donated his body. Maybe he knew that everyone's going to be like, yo, this guy was gifted, but in a weird way because they were all in different shapes and sizes. I love this podcast. That's the end of it. I'll see you next week.